Hello bitches, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to finally do a plan with me video for those of you who wonder how I plan my life, my projects, and whatnot. So feel free to plan along with me during this video, but before I get started with today's video, I'd like to thank Skillshare for sponsoring and collaborating with me on this video. If you have any goals or resolutions this year to either learn a new skill, deepen your already existing passions, or just find new creative things to do, Skillshare is the place for you to do that, where they offer tons of classes that you can choose from. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers a lot of meaning in the things that you will be exploring, the projects that you will create, and they also provide a supportive community through all of your endeavors. So it's really a place that will empower you to accomplish true growth. Skillshare also offers classes that, fit in your everyday routine, because I understand most of y'all are busy with school or work, but you still want to improve in art and illustration. So that's why Skillshare's small classes are perfect to fit into your routine without putting your life on pause, while still offering you knowledge to learn and grow from. Some class topics that might appeal to some of you are animation, illustration, and writing. One of the classes I personally find interesting is animation for illustration by Libby Vanderploeg, because I myself use Procreate and Photoshop as my main forms of comic creation and animation as well. So if you've ever been curious about how to create your own character and how to make them move in any of these programs, this is a great class for you to take and learn from. In addition to that, Skillshare's classes are extremely affordable compared to your in-person classes and workshops, because an annual subscription is less than $10 a month. So click the link in the description box below to get 2 free months of a premium membership on Skillshare and start exploring your creativity and achieving your 2020 goals. So the planner I used this year for 2020 is called the Hobonichi Techo 2020, and it's a Japanese planner. If you want to learn more about the planner itself, there's a shit ton of videos out there that review and talk about this planner, but the point of this video is just me planning my projects and not giving this planner a review. So if you want to learn more about this planner, definitely just search up Hobonichi Techo 2020 Cousin. It's the cousin because there's actually an original version of this planner, but I just needed the one with more space. So yeah, it's pretty cute. And again, my suggestion for you is that if you're going to get a planner that, you want to keep going back to, make sure it's something that you would just genuinely enjoy looking at, genuinely want to pull out of your bag, and just give yourself even the smallest reasons to keep coming back to this planner, because it's, it's something that you want to stay committed to. And sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird right now, because my nasals are being weird and I just woke up. So yeah. Anyway, I have this sticker book that's from Pipsticks, but I also just found this in Target. So if you can either buy it online or go to Target if you want this book, that's where it is. Or you can check out my link below, because I'm gonna list all the products I have on my Amazon affiliate store. But again, the point is to just have enough stuff to make this planning process pleasing for you. Like, you want to make this enjoyable for yourself if you really want to care about the things you're about to plan for. So I feel like when I decorate my plans, I am slightly more likely to commit to my plans, because I'm just like, I already decorated these plans and made them so beautiful. How can I just flake out on them right now? So that is why the least I can do for myself is to just decorate it slightly with some stickers and washi tape. And I'm also not the type of person to go crazy or go ham on stickers and washi tape, because I do see a lot of planner videos out there where literally the whole spread is just stickers and just beautiful illustrations and whatnot. But for me, that's just not really what I do with my planners. I just want to plan my stuff, but make it pleasing enough for me to look at. But this is not its own project or anything like that. I am not trying to make a scrapbook out of my planner. Don't expect this to look super beautiful or whatever, because it's not. But yeah, anyway, let me get started with how I plan for my projects. So one of the first pages in my planner I have is kind of like an overall spread of the months, and they just have every day in a list, and a lot of people use these pages in different ways, but I'm currently using them as a habit tracker for my stuff, such as flossing, reading, exercising, and eating healthy, because I need to track how well I'm doing on these things. And usually when you look at the habits of your life, you might sometimes notice a correlation with how productive you were or how unproductive you were, and sometimes, you know, looking at how you've been treating your life or whatever throughout the month can give you some insight to that. Like, for example, maybe I was less productive one month just because I was not exercising or eating healthy as much. I can refer to this page and just figure out why I wasn't, you know, being as productive, or you can even track your sleep or whatever it is that you feel like affects your life. This is just ultimately down to, you know, your personal preference. Normally on these monthly pages is when I just plan for the overall month's events. Like, I don't plan for anything that's super nitty-gritty or anything that's down to the T, so that, you know, when I plan ahead of time, I'm aware of what things are upcoming throughout the month. But just to show you an example of what a finished monthly overview looks like, it normally looks like this. So what I would normally do is just mark whenever there's a prolonged date for something. Like, for example, I had an Etsy store sale that was just for this many days, so I just want to highlight all the days that are involved with that type of event. Or like for this, it's when I went back to New York, just so when you look at the page, you immediately just see that, oh shit, I have a full week of just not being in LA, so gotta think about that if I'm going to be planning for certain things. But anyway, going to the weekly spread, which is, to be honest, my more important part, is where I really just plan for the schedule of, you know, the things that are going to be happening that week. For me, the weekly spread is more important for me because I need to know, like, what times of what days throughout the weeks am I doing stuff, and that normally is my way of figuring out how I'm going to break down a big task into small little tasks. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I got this planner, which is the Hobonichi cousin, compared to the regular Hobonichi, because the other ones don't have the weekly spread, but for me, I need to see this shit to just know, like, oh, I'm having like thumbnails on Monday or line art Tuesday, coloring Wednesday. So this is just an example of last week's spread, but ironically, I'm actually filming this today on Thursday, so I'm not really done with this part of the planner yet, but as of now, like, this is the part that's more completed. But again, the point of this is to see what times of what days am I doing stuff, and where can I put in time to be like, oh, I'm thumbnailing shit today for this comic. And now I will get to actually planning next week, which is from the 13th to the 19th, and I am filming this on the 9th. So yeah, let's see what it is I have to get done next week. Anyway, hello, it is voiceover Michelle here now because I still cannot get myself to be able to draw or write and talk at the same time, but you know, maybe 2021 will be the year that happens. But as of now, I just cannot do that shit, okay? But in this planner, what I found helpful for me to do is to use the sidebar as my main focus and main reminders throughout the week, just so that every week I can feel like I at least accomplished something, even if it's not something big. Because the small things that you accomplish every week will ultimately snowball and accumulate into something bigger, and these small little actions or things you accomplish will eventually turn into something bigger. So some of the things that I want to get done by the end of this week is getting an Etsy store sale done, and I also want to have this video posted, as well as posting my next comic on Instagram, and I also have to send some progress to my agent regarding a secret project that is not announced yet. As for the reminders of this week, they tend to come as the week starts to happen, just because these things tend to be more smaller things or things that I have to remember because it happened in the week, so I can't really mark every single reminder right now until this week starts to happen. So other than that, I do just know I have to remember to send this video for approval since it is a sponsored video. But other than that, that's really the only main reminder I have for that week until, you know, shit starts to happen. In addition to that, I just wanted to put a quote on the bottom left empty space, just because, I don't know, it makes it feel like a planner or a motivational planner that would typically have quotes, but this is a blank planner, so I'm putting my own, and the quote I'm using is from a fortune cookie, but it says, "The saints are the sinners who keep on trying," and it's from Robert Louis Stevenson. So even though the fortune cookie did not credit the original quoter, I will. So now I'm gonna speed up the video just because I'm gonna start planning out the weekly stuff, but because I already have a schedule for the things I post, I just like to leave it on the top of every page just so I know what it is I'm posting that day. So this week I'm gonna post my comic on Instagram on Wednesday, my video on Thursday, and on Patreon, I plan to post on Monday and Friday. So these are my posting days, and I just leave them on the top so I just know that's the day I'm posting. Next, I will start marking the other things that I'm certain will happen that week, such as going to work, and I might as well put a cute little laptop sticker there to make it, you know, enjoyable for myself. But yeah, I will start marking things that I know will happen, and on Tuesday I plan to announce my Etsy sale as well. And things like responding to emails are things I will normally do during lunch, so I know to put it there. I normally work out around 6:30 p.m., but I'm gonna replace that with a cute sticker to make it enjoyable for myself. After I lay down the things I know will happen on the timetable, I'll then add in other things like, oh, I can work on my video, I can work on a personal project during the times that are not occupied. And although I value productivity, another thing I know I need to do is learn to wind down more. So I'm doing a thing where every night pretty much I want to remember to read and journal. So I pretty much put them around 10 p.m. around that time every night, just so that's when I ease into my Zen state so that I can relax and go to sleep faster. But yeah, after that, I just kind of continue laying down the things that I know will be occurring throughout the week. Like, I know I'm going to be going to work, and I know I'm going to be working out. Those are things that will always be happening. Because for me personally, I like to work out at night simply because it allows me to relieve the stresses of the workday if I did have any stress. So I make it an obligation for me to exercise after work all the time. Normally, I just kind of make it a minimum of 3 to 4 times a week, but sometimes if I'm feeling it, I'll do it 5 times a week. After I lay down my obligations is when I can start putting down my floating project tasks within the spaces that are available for me to do them in. For example, I have these spreads that I have to do, and I know that I have time during my lunch breaks or my dinner break, and I feel like when you time yourself to do something, you're more likely to complete more than if you were given all the time in the world. I also know I have to send this video in for approval before Wednesday, so I'm gonna mark some time on Monday night to do that wherever there's an empty space. And because I already marked on Tuesday that I'm going to announce my Etsy store sale, I would assume that by Friday I would have had some orders, so I'll make a note to pack them that morning and then send them off Saturday afternoon. Other than that, I like to start looking at the available spaces in the morning times before I have to go to work, where I can work on some of my personal projects and stuff like that. So I will then make time for things that I can do in the morning before I go to work, and I pretty much adjust like what are the tasks I have to do throughout the week based on what I've already planned to complete or not. And of course, remember to put down your calming down activities or the things you plan to do to relax, such as reading, journaling. Sometimes for me it's doing laundry and stuff that just makes me feel like, you know, Michelle, all this pressure that you put on yourself doesn't matter. That's the type of shit I need to remember to put down in my planner. But as you can see, I also use a whiteout to just kind of fix things as I go. I honestly don't care if it leaves a white mark or not because it's, first of all, barely noticeable, but I also really just enjoy making my planner feel used. But yeah, pretty much I'm just continuing to find empty spaces that are available for me to do certain things. It's kind of like a game, and I guess it's kind of satisfying for me whenever I find time to do things, because a lot of life nowadays is kind of just making time to do shit. So I feel like when I have a weekly spread of my things to do, I have more control of how I can make time for certain things. It's just an easier way for me to just organize things and make me feel less anxious about all there is I have to do, because I feel like I don't like the feeling of not knowing if I will have time or not to do stuff. But I feel like if I have this overview of my life in a week or in a month, I can at least see what is going to happen and how I will tackle this. As you can see, I wiped out working out on Fridays, but the thing is I forgot that I don't work out on Fridays simply because Fridays are one of my favorite days of the week, just because it's that nice transition from the whole work week to now having fun over the weekends. And I think that's just something that's so important to remember to document in your planners as well, is marking the moments that you're going to go out and have fun, or go out and relax, or just do a hobby that you genuinely enjoy, because I feel like there's that level of extremity where you're becoming so productive that you just do not find the time to relax and have fun. But that's just the thing that's important to me about planning, because I can just go on with my life just going without a planner and just being so productive to the extreme that I just don't ever make time to hang out with my friends or relax or spend time alone. And the reason why I have a planner, honestly, is to really just remember to have time to do that stuff as well. And it's just not about the work all the time, because you need to make time for the things that you want in your life. And to me, that's just what the planner does. If I want something done, I'm going to figure out how I'm going to make it happen. And lastly, I feel like it's kind of a sin if I do not use washi tape at all in this video, so I'll do it for the sake of this video to make it, you know, kawaii. So yeah, I'm just lining it on the bottom as a little border at the end, because I don't do shit past 12 a.m., so I really have no use for that space. And then lastly, I'm going to use a heart sticker to mark that Saturday I'm going to be spending that day with my boyfriend. That's just what we do. We reserve Saturdays for each other, because if you care about someone, if you love someone, you're gonna make time for that bitch, and that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I just like to mark Saturdays as our days together, and don't ask me why I call him Tub. And then finally, I like to use the daily pages in the Hobonichi as kind of my task list. Some people use this as a diary, but for me, I like to use it as where I'm marking my meals, for example. I like to keep track of what I'm eating, and I feel like if I write it down, I'm less likely to eat shittily. So I'm just making up meals right now. These are not things I'm actually going to be eating next Monday or the 13th of January. I'm filming this the week before, so I have no clue what I'm going to be eating, but I'm just doing this just for the sake of filling in space for the video. And of course, remember to drink your water, because without it, you'll die. And I also like to keep track of whatever snacks I'm munching on. And then beneath that, I'll mark out what workout I did. So I guess you can just kind of say this whole left bar is my health column, where I am remembering to maintain my body and health. Then I just kind of go in and outline my text with a box and a drop shadow just to give it a fun little pop. What I like about this planner is that I can kind of play and experiment with different page designs each day, and then on the top right, I just put my focus, or sometimes I'll put my highlight or the top 3 things I need to get done. And then after that is when I'll actually start putting down my task list of the actual things I need to do that day, because although I scheduled it on my weekly spread in which you saw earlier, it's like I know I have to do this thing at 9 a.m., but what specifically did I have to do at 9 a.m.? So this is the page where I kind of refer to every day individually just to see like what are the things I actually need to get done, and when I get them done I can satisfyingly just check off the checkbox, and it feels good to do that. And of course, remember to put down your self-care shit or things that you know you need to do in order to maintain your sanity, because if you put it on and you need to have it checked off, then you're more likely going to do that self-care act. And once again, lastly, I'm just kind of making any finalized decorations with washi tape or just drawing them in. I just like to keep it simple again because, again, it's just more important for me to just get the stuff done, but I understand making it look nice will make me commit to it more. But yeah, that's my plan with me video. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope that this video pumped some of y'all up to start planning for 2020. And don't forget to check out Skillshare in the link below if you want to learn some new skills. And yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. So stay wholesome, bitches.